So Neil, I know I've known you for a number of years, and you've become, in my opinion, quite the rainmaker. Can you tell our audience a little bit about how that came to be?
Sure. I was very fortunate in a couple of ways in that the firm that I started at and that I'm still at is a firm that encourages young associates to start learning how to develop business and to do things that will plant the seeds to turn into business down the road. A lot of large law firms aren't like that. A lot of large law firms say to their junior attorneys, just learn how to be a good lawyer first, right? Bill a ton of hours, get good at your craft, and then once you get closer to being eligible for partnership, then you'll figure out how to develop business,
right.
Which I think is exactly backwards, and I'm glad that my firm agrees. So I was encouraged very early on by my firm as a whole and by some mentors of mine to start learning how to do it, right, and getting my feet wet, and then I had a little bit of success, and I really liked that, and so that made me hungry for more,
okay.
And 13 years later, here we are.
Here we are, okay. Great, and so if you were to say what was the main force behind growing a book of business, maybe give a little background. What were some of the activities that you did, some of the tactical work you did that helped you sort of get your book of business started?
Sure. So most of the new clients that I brought in over the years have come from one of two tactics, one of which is public speaking.
Okay.
So I give a ton of speeches, probably I'd say 15 to 20 speeches a year on average, to often to HR professional groups, because that's a big target audience for us, but sometimes to broader audiences. Earlier this week I spoke to a conference of guys who own truck leasing companies, of all things, right? And I have a relationship with a credit union league, right? So sometimes I'll go give speeches to folks that are involved in the credit union business. But public speaking has been terrific for me. That's probably half of my new business has come from speaking engagements. The other half has come just from the long day-to-day work of building a great personal network over the years. And I really did have to build it from the ground up. I'm not from Chicago, I grew up in Indiana. And so when I started at my firm in 2005, I literally knew nobody in Chicago except my wife and the people in my office, right? So I had to start from ground zero, and it took a long time, over many years, but now I've developed a good network of referral sources and other business partners that help bring in business as well.
Okay.